Welcome to Question Everything. I'm Eli. Today we're diving into a video that's been making the rounds online. No hype, no fear, just thought-provoking questions. Sit back, stay curious, and let's roll the clip.
So what are the chances that all celebrities and well-known names that you've heard of before all seem to have lookalikes from the past? Seriously, what are the chances that the most well-known people of today also happen to have lookalikes of the most well-known people from the past? How is it possible that the most relevant people and names you've heard of today all happen to have portraits of them hundreds of years ago, and they were also relevant enough to have a portrait of themselves back then? If you try and search for old pictures and portraits of people that look like you or anyone you know, you're not going to find them. But there just so happens to be pictures of people back then that are the most famous people now. And they also happen to be the most famous people back then too. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, why is it only the most famous people you know and no one else? Just people that you see on your screens every day. It's like strictly people that have influence. And not only did they have influence back then, but they're the same people that have influence now, today. It simply makes no sense. Fallen angels that can't die.
Absolutely madness. Let's roll the clip.
So you think these guys are just doppelgangers? Huh. These guys too? Also them? Interesting. And these guys, Edward Norton and Sam Rockwell, just doppelgangers? And you're sure about this, right? Real sure? Again, just doppelgangers?
Once Kevin and his team sculpted all the details, they created another set of negatives and then poured silicone into those molds and sandwiched it all together. Silicone is necessary for perfectly mimicking the translucency and texture of skin. As you can see here, it also naturally wrinkles like old human skin would.
The color of the silicone is already intrinsically colored to be a flesh tone, and then you can see light through this if I could get that at the right angle.
Yep, it's got to be it. Doppelgangers. That's all it is. I don't know what I was thinking. And of course, this is all for entertainment purposes. I know that they're doppelgangers. Of course, doppelgangers. Entertainment only.
Very questionable. Let's roll the clip.
I don't think you're ready for what I'm about to present in this video. I really don't think you're ready for what I'm about to present in this video. And it all starts in the most unlikely of places. A place they want us to think is nothing but a third world wasteland. But in reality, it's a place fit for a king. Well, maybe not a king, but definitely an angel. 200, as a matter of fact. 200 fallen angels. And while they create propaganda like Borat to keep us from knowing who actually lives here and what this place actually is, I figured it out. I figured out that the top of their pyramid just happens to have a secret meeting chamber with exactly 200 perfectly aligned seats. 200 perfectly aligned seats that just perfectly matches the amount of fallen angels talked about in the Book of Enoch. 200 that just almost perfectly matches the amount of impact craters that, I don't know, could have been caused from heavenly bodies crashing down to Earth. Heavenly bodies whose leader just happens to also be called Lucifer, or the Light Bearer. The Light Bearer whose torch is often celebrated across all of the large cities of the world, and whose torch who is oddly placed next to a giant Easter egg. An Easter egg that might actually reveal why eggs are associated with Ishtar, because Easter was originally the celebration of Ishtar, the Assyrian and Babylonian goddess of fertility and sex. And maybe this city is also hiding the free energy that they're using, because I've seen these exact buildings associated with the old dirigibles that used to charge from them. But we haven't even talked about the most interesting thing that I found in this city called Istana, which just happens to be an anagram for the word Satan, and it's just down the road from this pyramid. Or should I say, right down the river from this pyramid. And I'm going to take this time and say, all of this is pure speculation. Obviously, there could be other stories here, but too many of them line up to me. Way too many of them. Especially when you see what I found here. And it's what I started this video with. You look at this, and you tell me that doesn't look like some sort of portal. A portal that they might just be using to try to summon some real evil to this place we live. Or maybe even just a prop to propagate their fake summoning of the return of Jesus as a hologram. All I know is there's one thing I definitely know in all of this, is that this movie was created with intention to tell a vision of what this place actually is. Because I would put my money on it that 99% of you have never heard of the city in Kazakhstan called Astana. But you guys know I'm just kidding about all this. I don't really think 200 fallen angels are the actual controllers of this place we live. That's just silly. And I definitely don't think they build an egg and a light-bearing torch to worship anybody. Totally not. You guys know I just love to entertain you and create these fairy tales and stories of evil versus good that they don't really exist. I don't really believe in Satan and Lucifer and all the fallen angels.
People dismiss this as coincidence. But at what point does coincidence become a pattern? Let's roll the clip.
The Anunnaki, that's the name of the beings that, according to the ancient texts, came from heaven to earth. In the Egyptian culture, they call them the Naturu, and they said they came to earth and turned mud into a kingdom. In the Bible, they call them the Anak. They have these names in all different cultures. They all show up around the same time in every culture, and I started finding more instances of them in every culture I looked into around the same time period. And I go, these people really came here at some point in the distant past. It seems to be now around 450,000 years ago they arrived, and about 200,000 years ago, according to the text, they started genetically tinkering with human beings, saying they were adding their essence to them to get us to do the labor for them. So around 200,000 years ago, they started tinkering with us, and there's a famous cylinder scroll and with some text at the British Museum with Isis, the goddess Isis, who was one of the original Sumerian pantheon, not Egyptian, and she's holding up a baby, and she says, the first Adamu, which means first man, my hands have created it. And she claims to have taken this baby to term for 10 months in her own womb to create the more modern version of Homo sapiens sapiens.
Just insane. When completely different sources start pointing to the same ideas. Let's roll the clip.
Thoth. If you follow that information pathway, it leads you to this character, and the emerald tablets of Thoth are literally mind-changing and mind-blowing. Even Tesla says that this is where he came to get the information. It's given in first person, and that's not possible. The things that are being said are impossible. Enough time has passed, though, that it's not like that. He literally says, hey, there's a spaceship on Earth, and this is where it is. All the Anunnaki guys that look like a wristwatch, and they always have it, and you're always trying to see what that is.
Yeah, what is that?
It is it's a compass. It's a time-keeping compass.
Could this device have been a gift from the gods? A tool that enabled its users to manipulate time and space? Consider the ancient Sumerian king list, a chronicle that lists kings who reigned for impossibly long periods, spanning thousands of years.
And this is where it all connects.
You've seen this symbol your whole life and never known what it really means. It appears in every ancient civilization, from the Sumerian gods to the Vatican. This isn't just a decoration, it's a code, the pine cone. You'll find it on ancient reliefs in Mesopotamia, with the peoples of South America, in temples across Asia. But the weirdest place you'll find it is in the heart of the Vatican, a giant statue of it, and the same symbol right on the Pope's staff. So why would the leader of the Christian faith be using an ancient, pagan symbol? Theorists believe it's because he knows its true, hidden meaning. And that meaning, they claim, isn't just about a pine cone. It's a hidden map of the human brain. They say its shape is a one-to-one match for the pineal gland, the mysterious third eye located right in the center of your head. According to the theory, this knowledge is even coded in the Bible, in the words, "The lamp of the body is the eye." They decode this to mean the eye is the pineal gland. So what's the truth? Is this all just a massive coincidence? Or did ancient gods leave humanity the key to enlightenment, only for the elites to hide it in plain sight? They don't want you to know the true meaning of these symbols. The algorithm might hide this video, Follow us to see the secrets they've been hiding from you.
Until next time, gang, stay curious and question everything.